Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, I want to share something with you guys. And we'll talk about one altcoin that makes up 23% of my crypto portfolio. In fact, I think it may be a little bit higher because it keeps going up and up and up. But it makes a significant amount. It takes up a significant amount of my portfolio. So I want to share with you who this project is, why this altcoin is so darn good, and why I think it's going to continue to go up. And I know a lot of you guys been guessing already, wondering which one it is. Well, you'll find out soon. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash it a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. 2 streams every day, 11:30 and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell. Also subscribe and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All right, so let's get started. Okay, changing my screen here real quick. Just want to cover Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still stuck in that weird pattern I was telling you guys about this morning. That's okay. While this is happening, a lot of altcoins are doing very well, including this project I'm going to be talking about pretty soon. And if you watch my earlier stream, I showed you guys a lot of statistics about massive outflows, which I do think is going to be coming up in the near future. It's going to have an effect, and I do think Bitcoin's ready to move up. Any update on ADA? Rinky asks. Unfortunately, you know, they had their African announcement. I didn't have a chance to look at it. I know they announced it, but that didn't really help Cardano move up at all. So that was actually quite surprising. But I know they just announced something, but I was out, so I did not have the time to read it. But I will. But that's the latest. That's the latest with it. All right. So moving on, I just want to let you guys know one of the things that's posted on my Twitter is my giveaway. A lot of you guys are new to the channel. You're not following me on Twitter. You should. So you don't want to miss out on this giveaway. And at the end of the stream, I'm going to give you guys another clue in terms of what the secret code may be, which gives you 100 entries. So not only is there 5 ETH, but there's also 4,000 nulls contributed by nulls. And I'm still trying to get more people or more projects to sponsor. So as time goes on, I'm going to add more and more to this. So make sure you participate. The 325,000 entries ready. Quite a lot. All right. So let's do this. What is this project? Well, looking at CMC right now, like I said, you know, Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin is kind of just stalling out and not doing a whole lot, altcoins are not doing that. And you can see Bitcoin dominance actually went down even further, 50.8%. So dropped a few percentage down. And you could see, wow, today Ethereum up 7%. XRP up 8%, and Cardano even up 5%. But what really stands out is that number 3. That's right. That is Binance Coin, as some of you guys may have guessed it. 17% gain today. That's enormous, and it is sitting right at $90 billion. Yes, that's right, $90 billion. So let me share with you a little bit why I love Binance Coin so much. I've created many videos in the past already. Some of you guys have been listening. Some of you guys have been making tremendous gains with Binance Coin. But there's even more info now. I mean, there's just a lot of stuff that's happening with Binance, which is why Binance Coin continues to go higher and higher and higher. First, let's start with the basics. The basics, looking at the exchange and looking at the volume. So how does Binance rank in terms of their overall trading volume versus all their exchanges out there? Well, it's sorted on CMC, and you could see that they have roughly about $52 billion worth of volume, trading volume in a 24-hour span. And then you look at everyone else, they don't even come close. No one comes close. Huobi, I guess, you know, it's, I guess, decently close, but still a 3 to 4x difference. And you look at someone like Coinbase, which has all the attention these days. Coinbase is only at $4 billion versus $52 billion. There's a big difference there, and that doesn't even count Binance.us, which trades about 1.8 billion. So yeah, in terms of trading volume, no one comes close. it's by far the biggest exchange out there. And even if you look at derivatives, it's the same picture. Even if you count the derivatives trading out there, and we have heard of like, Bybit and BitMEX and Bitfinex, you know what? You add all of them together and their volume still doesn't come close to Binance. So Binance is the biggest spot exchange and the biggest derivative exchange by far. It's not even close. Not even close. All right, but what else is there? Well, this morning, this is a big thing. So Binance.us, it's a different arm, but still it's all under the Binance umbrella. This is pretty big. Brian Brooks, which used to be the office of comptroller under Trump, and also he worked at Coinbase. The guy knows his stuff, especially with regulation and stuff like that. He was hired to be the top dog of Binance.us, the new CEO. And if you look at his interviews on CNBC, I saw one of them, but he'd done a few. But this guy is all business. And the key thing I think he said was about making sure that Binance.us is still regulated, yet they're able to offer the things that Binance does, including some of this, derivatives like futures and options and leverage and a whole lot of other things. Plus, that, going IPO could be the next step too. Because if Coinbase raised a whole lot of money with their shares, why couldn't Binance.us do so as well, even though they have a Binance Coin? So that could be around the corner too. But this guy is a big hire. This is a pretty big hire, and it does add more credibility and legitimizes this exchange even more, especially for those of us in the US. All right, so there's that. What else is there? Well, CZ today announced that Binance Smart Chain has topped 6 million transactions within a single day. Within a single day, this is the highest ever. You could see Binance Smart Chain, which hasn't been around for that long, 6-7 months? And the transactions are already above 6 million per day. How do you compare that to Ethereum? Well, Ethereum's at 1.5, and this is the highest ever, and this is horrible for Ethereum, because the higher it is for Ethereum right now, the higher it is with gas fees. And those of you guys that's been trading on Uniswap, you know what I'm talking about. It's like $60, $70, $90, $100 to make a single trade on Uniswap because of the congestion. This is real. It's expensive. So you have Ethereum that's topped out around 1.5 versus Binance Smart Chain, which is topping out at 6. That's 4 times the volume already. That's a big difference. Now, if you look at unique addresses, Binance Smart Chain has about 66 million. Ethereum is still leading there, about 148. But you know what? Binance Smart Chain addresses are catching up in a big way. And here's an example. I want to show you guys. This is a really telling example. On 1 inch, you can see if you convert 1 ETH, about $2,300 to DAI. Okay? Right now, as it stands right now, I got to move my camera because you guys can't see. Let me see if I can move this camera here. Yeah, I just removed myself. But you can see right now, underneath here, $83. $83 to convert 1 ETH to 2,300 DAI. $83, okay? That's a lot. Now you go to Binance Smart Chain and you do the same thing. Instead of ETH, you do BNB to DAI, and let's just do, $2,300 worth. And the estimated fee is $1.76. So look at that. You could do a transaction for about $2, or you could do one for $80 or $90 on Ethereum. This is why the transactions is sky high with Binance Smart Chain, because casual traders, people that are buying NFTs or yield farming or trading on an AMM, they don't want to pay these outrageous fees. Right now, they have no choice. And the bigger traders still don't care. $90, so what if you're trading tens of thousands at a time, right? But still, for average Joes, this is really adding up. And this also explains why, if you look at DeFi station, which looks at the total value locked in all DeFi projects on Binance Smart Chain. It's coming up very, very quick. Almost $35 billion within a very short amount of time. You look at DeFi Pulse, which is everything on Ethereum, at 56, right? So not quite there yet, but once upon a time, when I first started checking this, there was like an 8x difference. Now there's less than 2x, right? So pretty soon, the total value locked in on DeFi projects on Binance Smart Chain will exceed DeFi Pulse and all the projects on Ethereum. And if you look at something like PancakeSwap, it already has 8.5 billion locked in, and that is bigger than Uniswap at 6 billion. So you could argue that PancakeSwap is already bigger AMM than even Uniswap, just not by market cap, but by total locked in value. All right, so there's that. Now, what else is there? Now I found something new that I want to share with you guys. Well, there's a couple things new. I didn't even know about this. Number one is there is a quarterly burn that happens all the time. Ever since, Binance was debuted, okay? Ever since it was debuted and BNB came out, CZ came up with this plan to burn tokens. This is not new information, but just want to show you that, the latest burn is by far the biggest. You could argue if you probably add all these up, this latest burn probably more value than all the other burns combined. This last burn was roughly around $600 million. That's a lot. And they continue to burn more and more BNB and continue to do so until the total supply gets to 100 million. That's not a new thing. I was reading through this blog post. I had no idea. They introduced 3 new things. Number one, they introduced Binance Pay, which is a payment merchant app. So merchants can also accept crypto. I didn't know this. This competes with guys like Pundi and others that are in this space, right? And even like Squared, for example, and even PayPal, they're in this space. So Binance is getting into that space already. They just introduced this last year. I had no clue. Also, what they introduced is the Binance card. Now, BlockFi, which is my sponsor, they're coming out with their Visa card. It's going to be a big thing. Binance is coming out with their own Visa debit card. I had no clue, so you could spend your crypto with it as well. So that's another big thing. And then they also came out with something else. Oop, not that. What's the other one? Oh, a Binance Lite, which is another exchange app that makes it very easy. This more or less mimics like Coinbase or Gemini. Right, a lot of people come in, they're confused by Binance. So what do? They come out with Binance Lite, which just makes it really, really easy to trade. So Binance is adding a whole bunch of things that I didn't know about. But that's not all. So lastly, the one thing that I think Binance Smart Chain that does not really excel at right now is NFTs. Like PancakeSwap, Bakery Swap, they have their small NFT marketplaces. But there's no big NFT marketplace like OpenSea, for example, right? Somewhere that all the projects can basically sell their NFTs. And that's missing right now. Well, Binance is trying to fix that. So this new one that's coming out, actually, they're going to have an IDO in about 3 days. So it's called Refinable. Refinable will be a Binance Smart Chain exclusive IDO on Polkastarter and right, it's very, very similar basically to something like OpenSea. It'll be an all-encompassing marketplace. This could bring a whole lot of attention, a whole lot of new NFT projects to Binance Smart Chain, which right now really doesn't exist. There's only a few small stuff, but all the NFT plays are on Ethereum right now. That could change going forward. And what's also very interesting about Refinable is, you know what? Mr. Beast is involved. Mr. Beast is actually an investor in this. Of all people, he's going to be investing in this. So you know that he's going to bring a lot of attention. If he starts talking about NFTs, within his videos, which average 30, 40, 50 million views each, that's going to bring a ton of money and new audience to this. So I think that's pretty big too. So that is also coming. So obviously Binance is not, they're trying to do it all. They want to make sure they can cover it all, which is quite amazing. So there you go. That's why I'm so bullish on Binance. I mean, they're just killing it right now. They're just executing, and it's just they're really unstoppable at this point. Ethereum, I'm not trying to spread FUD about them, but there's just not a whole lot they can do. The bigger they get right now, the worse it is for them because congestion and Ethereum and gas fees, right? There's really nothing they can do. Optimism is pushed back until July earliest. You know, there's a lot of layer 2 solutions. However, they're not really embracing them. They're all like kind of other projects that are actually pulling projects away from Ethereum. And a whole lot of projects are simply moving to Binance Smart Chain because it's just cheaper and easy to do, right? So I've been saying, I say Binance Coin will flip with Ethereum before the end of the year. A lot of people think it's impossible, but just look at this gap, 90 billion to 267 billion. That's not too much. That's only 2.5x. Not too long ago, this was like 7x, 5x, 3x. Now it's less than that. So this gap is closing very, very, very fast. All right, so that's Binance Coin in a nutshell. Before I get into Q&A, I do have a new sponsor that also relates to Binance Smart Chain. They're a really new project called Argon. And Argon is the world's first blockchain-based freelancer platform on Binance Smart Chain. So I'm very familiar with freelancer platforms. For example, I use Upwork all the time. I use it for my other channel, Drivers Only, in which I've hired people to help me do editing and so forth. So I'm very familiar with how it's done. But Argon is trying to make it better utilizing a decentralized model. And plus, they're going to be on Binance Smart Chain. Everything is utilizing smart contracts. So, of course, if you look at what they could do, you know, project and postings, of course, you can have your money stored on there. You could create events where, you know, if a deadline has passed, it automatically pays, right? And there's other things that you can do on here. Of course, they have, because this is blockchain, they make it so that you can stake your Argon token and be a prover. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that that can be improved upon, but many things are very similar as well. And also, I was looking at it. If you look at their app, which is not done yet, they're coming out. They're still working on it, but they are also working on NFT marketplace too. You know, it all relates, right? If you have creative design, you're a graphic designer, you have some programming design experience, you could definitely create your own NFTs and have it on there as well. So you go down a list. Of course, you can work globally. Unlike a lot of these freelancer platforms, they're limited to their own country. Of course, if you're using crypto, you know, and it's a blockchain, basically you can use that everywhere. And of course, everything is secure and transparent. You can track everything, all the transactions, of course, viewable, right? And of course, you can make some money by doing so, right? Posting jobs and offering services. And of course, you could stake with Argon. So that's Argon in a nutshell. They're still very early. It looks like they have a good amount of support already. If you look at the Telegram, 24,000 members. You go on their, this is their roadmap. You know, they've been basically very, transparent in terms of what they have accomplished and what they still have to do and so forth. So that's Argon in a nutshell. So if you want to learn more, then check out all the links in the description of this video. All right, that is it. I'll turn to you guys for some Q&A. Not a whole lot of people tuned in today. I bet something's going on. My night streams have been really weird. They've been triggering something with YouTube so that, it's not searchable or something. I bet it's not. I bet this is not searchable. It's very, very low count. But those of you guys are here, I appreciate it. Your notifications must be working. So what are some questions? Wanted to say thanks for covering HBAR. You're the only big YouTuber who even mentions it. Does Ada pay them? You're honest, humble. Thank you. I mean, I've heard of HBAR. I heard of Hedera Hashgraph for a long time. I just truly didn't understand them. I always thought they were too corporate. In a way, I still think they are. But Mance obviously has a lot of experience. He's been, my conversation, just FYI, my conversation with him about, his time at the Air Force and creating that defense game. He actually shared something else that was much more interesting, but you may have noticed I had to cut it off in the interview because he's like, yeah, we probably shouldn't say that. And I thought about it, it's true, because there was some information in there that could have caused a national incident. So I cut that out. But anyways, Hedera looks very promising. They have a lot of stuff going, obviously. Their new token economics thing, their new token issuer for NFTs or anything is very interesting. And they have a whole lot of stuff. And the way he explained how, the console, when they onboard a company into a console, they actually become a member of the LLC. That's wild. Like, I had no idea about that. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Stratus. Ooh, that's an old one. The Stratus is the one that's based on .NET. Yeah, this is the one where everything is programmed for .NET. So this is actually a project I thought Microsoft would have, backed a lot more because .NET is, in the Microsoft framework. But I have not heard anything about them working with Microsoft. So they're kind of, they were around for a while. So I don't know if they could come back. I really wish they could do something with Microsoft. That would make a whole lot of sense. Laura asked about Origin Protocol. Origin Protocol is the decentralized marketplace. They're getting into NFTs pretty big. I think they're good. I think they're good play. I know that NFTs in general have gone down a little bit. There's just too much going on. It's oversaturated, but they're still doing well. 500 million. You could see that they come down quite a bit, but still, I like this project. Phil. Scale. It's a layer 2. It's a layer 2 for Ethereum, but it's one of many. One of many. There's just so much. There's so many layer 2s. I don't know which one's better than the next, but yeah. It's a layer 2. I think they got added Coinbase, didn't they? Yeah, they got added Coinbase. When they got added Coinbase, it gave them a big boost, but still, they kind of stalled out after that. Finex Flow is a liquidity aggregator for trading. It's interesting, but I guess you just gotta wait and see, right? Finex Flow, there goes supposedly, aggregate all the liquidity from dexes and centralized exchanges and put it together and so forth. But still, early project. Got to just see them execute. That's pretty much it. Central P. I forgot what this is about. Connecting internet into one. Okay. Transforming the public internet into secure user-centric internet where encryption optimized performance are built in and automatically enabled for anything and everything. Okay. Yeah, so as far as I understand it, they're basically using their nodes. They're going to reroute traffic and make it more secure and faster and probably more robust. That's how I'm taking it. It kind of sounds like, MKN in a way. Maybe a little bit different, but they're trying to build out a new internet, basically. It's very, very encompassing. I don't know if they're able to do that, so... If you had 10K to buy crypto right now, what would be your choice? All BNB? No. Doesn't mean go all in. There's just a lot. You got to pay attention. Obviously, you got to buy some Bitcoin. Binance Coin, even Dogecoin and XRP at this point, Uniswap, VeChain, of course, Theta. I mean, there's just so many. Solana, even Neo that's coming up. Terra, another one I like. Cosmos. I mean, there's just so many. There's just so many. And every project is different, a little bit different. So you have to decide what you like. Silo. I think decentralized cloud computing. No, this is like a payment network. Payment network, wallet. Yeah, I don't have any thoughts. I don't know what makes it stand out from the dozens of others that does this. So I think the only good thing is it's on KuCoin. Yeah, that's about the only thing. You say you like the concept. What concept? It seems like everyone else does it. Did I ever mention Cody? Yes. Yes, I did. They're also a payment. It actually competes with with Silo. Cody's also a payment. They're all about helping projects come out with their own payment system. And I looked at them before. I remember they were pretty good. The team, pretty good team. But ultimately, they basically help company come out with their own payment system, right? And I don't know if they expanded into like NFTs or anything, but it looks like, they're in remittance. That makes sense. Loyalty, stable coins, pretty much white label payment network. Yeah, so yeah, that's what they do. There was some FUD though. I know on Reddit, like there was a lot of FUD about them. I don't know if it was legit. The FUD was talking about how some founders had some shady past and stuff like that. I don't know. I never verified that. But I think the project itself is pretty promising. Dan, you just asked me about that. You asked the same thing about small mid caps. You're going to have to just pay attention and watch my old videos. I'm not too crazy about Doge right now. So here's the thing. A lot of people expected Doge to like really, really fall hard, but not really. It's still above 30 cents. I've said I don't think Doge is gonna go away. Once it gets above a certain amount, it's met that like, what do you call it? It's like I forgot the term, but basically it's gotten to a point where it's so big, it's gonna be really hard for it to fall. So, I mean, being a big cap, I think it's irresponsible not to hold a little bit of it. Neblio, Danny, there's no need. They're just way too small. They should never gotten so big. They're basically a consulting company. They have their own blockchain, but with like 2 people on board, and they help businesses get involved with blockchain. But that's really it. They're really small. They should have never gotten so big. Unfortunate for 2017, too many people, especially one guy, remember that really pumped them. But yeah, I'm not a fan. Synthetic, they're gonna be, they create synthetic things like stocks or whatever. But I think they're gonna be weaker going forward because there's just so many companies that's doing that now. That's also stock. I mean, if you look at like the hot trends, right? DeFi obviously exploded, and then you have 1 million AMMs, right? So then you have NFTs, same thing. Launch pads, that's happening right now, right? Synthetic creation of things, also happening. So anything that gets hot, all of a sudden, there's like 100 million projects that comes out, and it kind of dilutes the space. But what ends up happening is the leaders of those categories continue to do well, but everyone else continues start suffering. So going forward, you gotta be careful, right? There's a lot of new ones, but they're not really gaining traction anymore. It's the bigger guys, the leaders of those categories that are doing well. Captain Obvious, I looked at Vooz, but they're not gaining any traction. I know West Coast Customs and who's that artist? There was one musician. I totally forgot his name. But if you look at their Twitter, you know, maybe they were announced like a year ago, 2 years ago. They haven't done anything. So I'm not seeing any traction with the foos. I don't even know if that's how you say it, but I think so. Unibright partnered up with Google, Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Target. I have seen that. I don't know if that's really true though. They claim they have a lot of partnerships with their like payment app, but I don't know if that's actually true. Wait, maybe not payment app, but maybe that's another one I'm thinking about. Unibright has been around for a while. And I remember I looked into them, and I wasn't that impressed, to be honest. Maybe I missed something. I'll look at it again. But whenever whenever a team claims, oh, we partner with Google, Microsoft, Coca-Cola, Target, what is it? My BS detector goes off because I don't buy it. I don't buy it. If that really happened, they would be in the top 10 already. Have you checked out Bonfire? It's outperforming SafeMoon. Yeah, I'm not going to check that because SafeMoon is BS. And so if you're comparing Bonfire to SafeMoon, then it's probably BS too. Algorand. I'm neutral on Algorand. I just think there's better blockchain plays at it right now. That has a lot more traction, people that pay attention to it. So I like them a lot better. Ecomi, it is a very good NFT marketplace. It's a very good one. I'm curious to see what they do with the NFL. I think that's a huge one. Besides the NFL, they have movie studios and DC Comics and a whole lot of others. But NFL one is the one I'm curious about. Trucks asks, I can't. Well, you spelled Binance wrong. Binance. I live in Louisiana, and big bags and CRO. I feel like they can survive. Well, Crypto.com will survive, but they kind of outpace themselves a little bit too much. If you look at their trading volume, it's not that much. Their trading volume is actually very low compared to other exchanges. However, they do have some uniqueness, right? They have their cards, their Visa cards, which are prepaid cards. They have their chain. They made that partnership with Visa. That's pretty big, right? So they do have some unique aspects to them. But in terms of just like trading volume as an exchange, they really, really, really are behind all these other ones. If you can't use Binance, look at Binance.us. At least I think you could get into Binance.us. Super Mario Freak, appreciate that. Will Crypto.com gain more thoughts? Okay, I just shared my thoughts on that. AMP and Fluxa, they're coming back. A project I reviewed very early on, but as the pandemic winds down and people actually go out and actually use the Flex app to pay for things at retailers, I think AMP will do better with that. Basic Intention Token down 16% today on Coinbase, while everything else is. I like Basic Intention Token. I mean, they have all the right things. Brave browser, which is what I'm using now, is fantastic. They're introducing their own search engine, their own DEX, their own layer 2. I mean, there's a lot of things coming. So I think it's a good project. And they're on almost every single exchange out there too, which also helps them. I'm not gonna talk about Shiba. There's a lot of Dogecoin copies. Okay, they may pump, but they also dump too. If you're gonna go look into a meme coin, stick with Doge. Stick with Doge. Chef, yeah, I heard an announcement, but I didn't read into it because I got busy this afternoon. I mean, Cardano pumped a little bit from it, but not huge, right? I think a lot of people were expecting that after that announcement, Cardano would just like jump up to $10, but it seems like that didn't happen. I'll have to read into it and see, because it seems like I know Charles was hyping this Africa deal for a long time. And he kept saying it's going to be the biggest one on earth that we have ever seen. I don't know if it's actually that big, so I have to see. Bank cash flow, appreciate that. You think Refinable will go to the moon? Yeah, I think so. You know why? Because Mr. Beast is involved. And if he's involved, he's going to be talking about it. And if he's going to be talking about it to his millions and millions and millions of subscribers, they're probably going to FOMO in, right? So I actually do think Refinable could be a really good one. And I think it's going to help Binance Smart Chain because it's going to be the biggest NFT marketplace on Binance Smart Chain. I think by far. That's the one thing that Binance Smart Chain really does not have right now. They have like the cute cartoonish ones on Pancake Swap and Bakery Swap, but not like an encompassing one for art and other things. And that's what they're missing right now. So that could be a big one. The African announcement is in 9 days. I thought they released it today. Or maybe they did a pre-announcement of announcement. Like what Justin likes to do. Maybe that's it. I thought they came out with something. EFX. Effect.ai. I'm guessing it have to do with AI. Oh, no. First blockchain framework for future of work. Access a global on-demand workforce. What does it do? It says you can work anywhere, but what is it? Is it a market? Is it a job marketplace? It doesn't really explain what it does. All right. I don't know. If it's a platform for companies or is it like a job marketplace? I don't know what it does. So yeah. Did you see Wink is becoming an Oracle? I didn't know that, but it makes sense. Tron, they just, I don't know. They just jump from one thing to another. Justin keeps buying stuff, but there's no like synergy with any of their projects. That's what they need. They need synergy. Dennis asks, love the show. Thank you. China-based crypto companies the next boom, like VET, possibly Ontology. Possibly. Ontology and Neo back in the day were really tied to the hips. It seems like they have broken off, and it seems like Ontology moved to the NFTs. But Neo is coming back in a big way. I don't think Ontology has moved up that much. Yeah, not that much. So they kind of died down. Ontology back in the day was a little bit different than Neo, but they had their own blockchain. I kind of forget the differences, but they have not come back. But you could be onto something. Another one is Nulls. Of course, I support Nulls. They were really high in 2017. I'm hoping they could come back too. Kyle, of course you did. Scroll back. Scroll back. Curious about Polkadot. A lot of people have been asking me, why is Polkadot not moving? I think it's going to get its turn. It always happens. Like, it happened before with Chainlink. It happened with a lot of projects. The ones that seem to have just, like, stalled out and there's not a whole lot, usually that's when things will turn, right? So I know Cardano, of course, like Dogecoin, even XRP, even Binance Coin, they have been going up a lot recently. And Polkadot just not so much. But I do think they're going to have their turn. And there's just a lot. I get asked about all these Polka projects all the time, right? And they're definitely, their ecosystem is definitely growing. So I think he's got to give them time. HSBC bans Coinbase. Yeah, that's old news. And that's just like ridiculous. Oh, no, that's not old news. HSBC, I thought, banned buying up MicroStrategy stock. Now they're banning Coinbase. I think they're just, they know the end is near for them. So I got off that Luna bandwagon a long time ago. They went off on a tangent. So if they've been coming up, great. But I've stopped. They used to be, they wanted to become like, the next Wikipedia. And they were doing something really interesting with their web portal. And then they went all exclusive with like a desktop app, and then just no one used it. So I don't like them. Even Everpedia is the biggest, and they basically are a copy of Wikipedia, and they don't have any traction either. So, all right, guys, I think that's pretty much it. You know what? Overall, BTC is still hovering in that weird range, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll let it do its thing. When Bitcoin's ready, it'll move. But this morning's video, I think most of you guys saw that. There's a lot of indicators that show massive outflows from Binance and from exchanges and derivative exchanges. That usually leads to very good things. Usually leads to a next leg up afterwards. So I'm waiting for that. That could be right around the corner. But in the meantime, you know what? Altcoins are doing just fine, which is why BTC dominance continue to go down. A lot of these big caps are doing really well. They're climbing up today. Not just Binance Coin, even though I do really believe Binance is an awesome project. But look at Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, even Polkadot, Binance Cash, Litecoin, Uniswap, VeChain, right? They're all Theta today. They're all doing very, very well. So I think you guys should be happy. I am. All right. Thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to my video tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you didn't watch that Hedera Hashgraph interview video, check that out. All right. Have a good one. Oh, I was going to give you a clue on my giveaway. My clue relates to this video. I'm going to say it again. I've been saying it a lot. 3 characters long. Think about what that means. And it has to do with this video. All right?
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.